Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another fantastic episode of the Suzette Speaks Show. I am Suzette Speaks. It's a beautiful Saturday morning right here in Miami, Florida. For those of you watching on for the first time, welcome. If you're watching on the Facebook page of our partner, Jamaicans.com, I want to welcome you. If you're watching on the Suzette Speaks YouTube channel, you know what to do. Welcome, everyone. We have a fantastic show lined up for you today. I'm speaking with a founder of an event that is going to patronize a charity, an orphanage back in Jamaica. She is doing this event in the US in West Palm Beach on June 11th. It's called a color run. And if you've never done a color run, I encourage you to check out the Kaleidoscope 5K color run in West Palm, June 11th. She is of Jamaican descent. She's going to talk a little bit about her personal story and how she founded the color run and why she founded the color run. More importantly, I think we're in a time where, we're just shaking off the cobwebs and trying to get back out there. I don't know about you. I went to my first event. I had my own brunch, invited 50 some ladies, had a great time. So now I feel like I'm ready to get back out there. So if you're looking for an event, if you're looking for ways to socialize and help those who are in need, this is a great opportunity. It's outdoors, and again, a color run. If you guys have been to Carnival, if you guys have been to Juve, more importantly, a color run allows you this kind of sense of freedom. Not only are you running a 5K, but they're throwing paint and colorful powder all over you. And you end up, I guess, with this kind of very Nirvana like experience participating. So I'm thinking about going, guys. I can't say for sure like this second, work and whatnot. But in my heart of hearts, I was like, I really want to go and bring a group of girls to go do this color run and go support this beautiful lady who I have as my guest today. So we're going to welcome her momentarily. I'm going to say real quick hello in the chat again. You know what to do. This is Suzette Speaks. Happy Saturday morning, or I think some of you guys, it might actually be Sunday already, but we are every Saturday here right now on Jamaicans.com at around 12 noon, as well as on the Suzette Speaks YouTube channel, 12 noon every Saturday. That's my time, y'all. So you can always come and expect to have a good conversation. Last Saturday, we we did some work. You guys know I like deep topics, introspective topics where I talk about current events, social justice, law, because I am an attorney as well. But I also like to talk about fun stuff like today, where I get to kind of kick it with someone, a young woman who is put herself out there by trying to put together an amazing, or has already put together an amazing event. And again, it is going to benefit an orphanage, I believe in St. James, to help with school uniforms and all these kind of wonderful things that, again, some of you guys may not know. If you're not a part of the Jamaican diaspora, they have to pay to go to school in Jamaica. Did you not know that? Well, I'm telling you today. Oftentimes when we're here, I'm in Miami, of course, grew up here, we take for granted that school is free and school supplies come with, or some, no, parents have to buy pens and pencils and backpacks and stuff. But in Jamaica, it costs tuition, as well as you must have the right uniform, etc. You hit the like button as you come in, please. So she's going to inform us about what the color run is supposed to do in terms of helping to give back. She also does a lot of charity work here in the States. She's based in West Palm Beach. So like I said, there's so much about her I'm curious about. This is going to be my first conversation with her, but I wanted to, people who are doing good things, we want to allow them the platform. We want to be able to expose and promote, wonderful events like the Kaleidoscope 5K. So before we bring her up, let me just say good morning to my people. Big up. Hey, RM. Nice to see you, my moderator in the building. Great to see you, my love. Put your location in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from on this beautiful Saturday. Seek Amethyst, the lioness of videography. Okay, we done added the lioness. Peace, she says. Nice to see you. Pennsylvania in the building. Nice to see you. Seek says, LOL, it's so fun. Didn't do a 5K though, but you did a color run. Girl, whatever amount I could give, I'm going to probably give my best. I can't say it, but just the atmosphere, the lightheartedness, it has that kind of Caribbean flavor to it when you've done, or if you are thinking about doing a color run, definitely consider this one. Good morning, Facts and the Uncomfortable Truth with Bernard S. Nice to see you. TBE Trucking family is in the building. Nice to see you. Hey, the Miss Creative, and ATL is definitely in the building. So without further ado, Hola, how are you, Kimo? How you doing, guys? It's great to see you. It's a blessing just to be here. Like I said, as far as going out, I was really kind of trying to cut back or not really going out as much as I definitely have in the past, due to everything with the pandemic and such. But I'm getting back out there. So if you guys are in the area, if you want to come down to, the Color Run should be a fantastic event to enjoy, an outdoor event to enjoy, which is going towards a great cause. So I want to make sure we welcome her as she comes in. Hey guys, hey, North Carolina driving. Nice in North Carolina. Okay, be careful. You listening in. Thank you. VA in the building. Nice to see you. I love it. Everyone from all over the world. That's why I love this platform. Hey, Mauricia Petit Ferre. Nice to see you. Hello from Georgia. Pick up yourself, sister. It's a great day. Like I said, we're just gonna chit chat, talk a little bit of tragedy to triumph, talk a little bit about, overcoming struggle, but most importantly, talk about, how you can get involved with such a great cause. Hit the like button, y'all, before I bring up. I need the likes up. Thank you guys for watching. Again, Suzette Speaks here with Dr. Tanisha Allen. Dr. Tanisha Allen, that's how you can find her on Facebook. I've left her links in the description so you can find her, but we're going to be talking about how she developed this idea, why it was important for her to do it. Obviously, with the pandemic, people have been on pause. She's back. It's a good day. We're back. June 11th. Mark your calendars. June 11th, West Palm Beach, Florida. And the Kaleidoscope Color Run. You can find it on Eventbrite. Kaleidoscope Color Run is the name of it, y'all. So if you're watching live, big up yourself. If you're watching the replay, pick up yourself too. Go ahead and hit the like button. We love whenever you can catch us. It is a privilege, to be able to share this space, this time with you. So we value your eyeballs, we value your views, and we appreciate all of you who support the platform, both on Jamaicans.com as well as on YouTube. All right, y'all ready? Big up yourselves. Again, hit the like button as you come in, please. Let us know where you're watching from. Yeah, it was, y'all gonna try to call me out though? Are you gonna try to say that? Yes, it was a late evening yesterday. Praise God. The Miss Creative, can you tell? I was trying to drink the ginger tea, but the ginger tea was not working this morning. I got a Grenada cup from my homegirl from Grenada. Big up Grenada. But yeah, no, I was trying to flex and get the ginger tea, but it didn't quite open up. Open up the airwaves as much as I wanted it to. But yeah, big up everybody in the chat. Without further ado, I want to use her time wisely today. Y'all give a warm Suzette Speaks show. Welcome to our special guest, Dr. Tanisha Allen. Hey, Doc, how are you?
Hi, how everyone? How are you doing?
Fantastic. Yeah, I gotta take this off. Miss Creative trying to say what's up. It's just my voice is tired, darling. That's it. I was not gonna lie. I went to a lovely fete yesterday, my first one in a
Okay.
long time. Just danced, had a good time, and then when you know every song, when your voice gets tired,
Right.
when
I know how
you
that
kind of
is.
sing louder than the music. That was me yesterday. So I had a great, actually, really good time. Just relaxing. I had a couple of events. I went to a couple chamber events. I'm trying to get back into chambers and going to
Oh,
visit,
yeah.
network. Like I tell
Right.
everyone, I was, just sleeping, so to speak, just hibernating, staying off the map. And now I feel so much more confident to kind of go out there. It's like I kind of got a little revive. So after a couple chamber meetings, I went to a happy hour. God help me, and it wasn't that like happy, so to speak. not
Oh, no.
not extra happy, just happy. And then they played music afterwards and turned into a dance, and it was really fun. So
Oh,
I'm grateful for it.
exciting.
I'm grateful for it. So yes, I'm paying the price right now with my voice. Let me just tell all my business, God. On a nose anyway. If you hear us code switch, it's all good. We both come from Jamaican parentage. Were you born in Jamaica?
I was born in
Eh,
Connecticut.
the details. I was conceived.
I was conceived in Jamaica, but I was born in Connecticut, but I grew up in Jamaica. We went back when I was 9 months. So yeah.
Oh, so you grew up there but was born
Yeah.
here. Hey, one of those. Hey, we understand. We understand. So let me get off myself. This show today is about you, my love, and your wonderful project. Again, her name is Dr. Tanisha Allen. We're talking about her mission through the Kaleidoscope 5K. So without further ado, my dear, please, I'm gonna give you the floor. Please introduce yourself. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you grew up, where you're from, what you're into, that kind of thing.
Yes, but first, before I talk a little bit about myself, I would like to just honor Suzette Speak and all of her audience for allowing me to be on the show. I'm telling you, she didn't have to, because honestly, she doesn't know me from anywhere. So just by getting a message from me and trusting me to come on her platform, I believe that is something that should be honored. And I am very, 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 very grateful. So, hello to everyone out there. I see you welcoming me. Thank you. I'm so excited to be with the Suzette Speaks audience today. And so, a little bit about myself. I am Dr. Tanisha Allen. I am here in the West Palm Beach area. So I'm not far from Miami. I'm just 45 minutes away from Miami. So we are very close. So a little bit about me. I am a doctor in theology. I'm also an associate pastor here in West Palm Beach, Florida, at my wonderful church, Victory Faith Chapel. And I also am the founder and CEO of a ministry called Kabod Ministry. Kabod Ministry is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and it's an umbrella of many things. And so, Kabod, in itself, as a nonprofit, we are a charitable organization that wants to help the community around us, and also want to give back to anyone that is in need, as long as we have the resources to do so. Under Kabod Ministry is Dr. Tanisha Allen. So Dr. Tanisha Allen is myself. So I'm a mentor, I'm a preacher, I'm a speaker, I am a motivational mentor as well. So I do many things. I'm also an author of a book that I've written. So there's many things that I have done, as well as I have a mentorship program called I Want to Die But Help Me Live. That is interesting because I heard Suzette Speaks says from tragedy to triumph, and that is actually my theme for I Want to Die But Help Me Live. So that is so awesome. That is what we say at I Want to Die But Help Me Live. We went through many tragedies, but and traumas, but we will see the victory on the other side. So that is excellent. So for the Kaleidoscope run, it
Hmm.
was it's governed all around a orphanage in Jamaica, St. Andrews, Jamaica, called City of Refuge.
Oh, I put you in St. James. My bad. In St. Andrews, Jamaica.
St.
Oh God.
Andrews, yes.
Sorry, City of Hope. Tell us. Well, before you get into it, I want to ask a little bit more about you because I
Sure.
definitely want to talk about your journey into ministry. Um, we're gonna talk a little bit about faith, you guys. I hope that's okay with you. You might even get a new church member. Look at this. The Demas Creator said, "I have to stop by your church next time I'm in West Palm Beach."
Yes,
Hey,
come by
we
my
recruiting out
church.
here. No problem at
Come
all.
by my church. We're all family. We're all cool.
Awesome. I love it. Yeah, because here I try to, try to bring up topics. I think I'm kind of all over in a sense because I do current events a lot now. Because you gotta get the people's interest. Let's just be
Right.
real. If it's not exciting, people not watching you.
That's
So
right.
I have had the challenge of trying to bring what is in my heart, which is understanding the human condition and trying to find breadcrumbs from other people's experiences that will help our own. That's my heart. But of course, on YouTube, on Facebook, people ain't trying to hear all that, necessarily, unless you have to kind of like paint that front door so they want to open it. So today, I want to talk a little bit more about your faith walk because I think there's a lot of time we are hearing, people are, falling away from the church. The church ain't got nothing for me. I'm okay. I'm spiritual. It's another big one. And, I want to know as a young woman, like, why choose ministry? Were you like a daughter of a preacher? Like, what's up with that? Like, a lot of people would look at you and say, but don't you have a life to live? The church is so corrupt, or, all these things that people, um, well, I'm not going to say everyone, but, a loud, maybe
It's
minority, we
yeah.
don't know, have a lot to say about, faith, religion, church. So what made you decide a doctor in theology? Why? Like, what made you decide to pursue this?
And that is such a good question. Actually, I my mother and my father are not ministry driven at all. But my grandfather was.
Mm,
So earlier I said I was conceived in Jamaica, but I came here. So when my mother came here from Jamaica, she came here 7 months pregnant.
mm,
And when she came, my grandmother didn't know that she was pregnant. So that was a big surprise. So when I was born, my grandmother was married to a Black American guy
mm-hmm.
who helped. my parents and my mother and her sisters and brothers to come to America.
Nice.
So the day that I was born was the day that my biological grandfather was buried.
Wow.
And so while I was being born, the only people that was in the US was my mother and my grandfather who raised me.
Mm.
And so he was the one that received me because my mother and I, we also are diagnosed with sickle cell disease. So when I was born, they had to take me out a different way. She was sleeping. She didn't even know that I was born. And so he's the one that cultivated me in the US as a pastor. And so
Mm.
that's where I get my pastoral experience. So he raised me. So I was kind of like a pastor's kid, even though he
Through
was,
grandpa.
yeah,
Wow.
through my grandfather. And so I was raised in church
Hmm.
all my life. And um, I also was, if we're getting deep, I was molested while I was in church by a minister. And at the time, the kids
In the
nowadays,
US or in Jamaica?
no, in the US,
Wow.
in the
How
US,
old were you?
I was 13 years old.
Wow. Mm.
Yes. So when I was molested um,
Hmm.
by the minister, because he was also over the youths and everything like that, and I wasn't as, you see, these kids these days, they're so more wiser when it comes to sexual things, and
Yeah.
at that time I wasn't really so wise to what was going on. So he was able to convince me to do things that after a while I was like, wait, this doesn't feel right. But I felt like I got too deep into it that I was afraid to tell my mother.
Hmm.
And my mother knew I loved church so much because it was my refuge, because there was a lot of things going on at home that my punishment would be, you can't go to church. And to
Mm.
me, that was the death of me, to say I can't go to church. So I hid it for so many years, and hiding it caused animosity towards church.
Mm.
It caused animosity, not towards God, but towards church people. And I
Can I
felt
ask you some questions? This is the first time we're meeting, guys. So I'm hearing
that,
this at the
yes.
same
So
time as you're hearing it. No, as I agree with Maricia, very powerful. Thank you for being transparent and open, because to see someone who is as enthusiastic as you about church, about your ministry, about serving God, and to know that you went through one of the darkest circumstances through church.
right,
A lot of people have some deep church hurt,
yes.
not into the degree that you have experienced. My God, I can't even compare. But some of the nastiest things, some of the nastiest people end up in church.
Yeah.
And I saw a guy, thank you, if he's watching, Claude, for writing me this beautiful message on LinkedIn. And I don't want to cry. But he
If you
talked,
start crying, I start
no, I'm sorry.
crying.
Okay. Claude, thank you for that message. He talked about how there are a lot of, and I won't say everything that was in it, but he was talking about how there are a lot of dark souls that are pursuing like innocent hearts. And I think, especially now, if you have children, if you are involved in anything, church or outside, you have to be very, very mindful that there are. We've been talking a lot on my channel about the dating game, but there are a lot of dark souls, men and women, in the dating game. But there's also a lot of dark souls that try to prey upon children.
That's right.
So we have to be very mindful. We want to trust pastor. We want to trust whoever. But unfortunately, there are dark souls that are wolves in sheep's clothing that come around kids, that come around you to date you,
Yeah.
that are not. I want to just say their heart is evil. Their heart is evil. It's dark. It's dark. When we talked a lot about in the last couple of interviews here on my show with developing dad, go back and watch that show.
I
How do
watched
you
it.
know? You watch it? All right, telling everybody else, go back and watch that show, because how do you know a man is ready? It is so important to really kind of be able to discern in this season, in this
Right.
time we're living in, because what's up is down, what's right is wrong, what's
Right.
good is bad, and moral relativism is the order of the day, some would argue. So I'm glad you shared that, because I think to understand that someone could go through such a hard and, like I said, the darkest of paths in the church
In the
and
church.
still recover and serve the church is again, some people would be like, no, 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 that doesn't add up. Can you talk about that? Did you get counseling? What was your path to healing after someone kind of violates that deepest of trust, of faith trust, as well as your individual, your body.
Right.
How does one gain healing from that?
You have to pursue God and
Mm,
not people. That's the I didn't get counseling until way after, because I kind of hid it in the back of my mind because I was hiding it from people. After a while, I guess he was doing this to other girls in the church, and so they began to speak out. And then they were like, "Hey, he's doing it to Tanisha too," and I'm like, "No, he's not doing it to me." So I never spoke up.
mm,
Um, Fast forward, got married very early, start having children very early, and I when I conceived my daughter, it was a prayer that I prayed before I conceived her, because before that I was having miscarriages, and I was just like, I really wanted a baby, and so I went down on my knees because that's the only way I know how to communicate to God, and I said, okay, God, if you give me this baby like Hannah gave over Samuel to you, I will give you my baby. And exactly a month later, I found out I was pregnant with my oldest daughter. And so now, having my oldest daughter, I had to remember this promise that I made to God, that I promised that I will raise this child up in church and that I will give um, her back to you. And I was still clubbing, I was still partying. I was a big party girl, and so I understand. You know, I was clubbing, I was partying.
don't condemn me now. Don't condemn
I'm
me
not
now.
condemned. Trust me.
Don't condemn me now. Me go out yesterday, but don't condemn me.
No, no, no. I'm not condemning anybody, because trust me, if anybody know how to party, it's me. I just party a different way
And it
now.
comes from our culture. It is
Right.
acceptable in our culture. You will be at the or the dance or at the club, if you will, on Saturday, but you will be at church service, or
I will
if
be
you're
at
in
church
business,
service
Saturday,
Sunday
Sunday,
morning.
whichever your day. But we know how to praise God, and we know how to be right in them clubs. Right? So
That was me. That was
that there is
me.
definitely that dichotomy going on,
That was me.
culturally speaking. Yeah.
That was absolutely me. And I don't condemn anybody, because I walked through it. You know, I walked through that phase of life. And so actually, there's this club that used to be here called Sea Breeze in West Palm Beach, Florida. So if you're from West
Mm.
Palm, you know Sea Breeze because it was a popular club.
I've heard of it. You know, I've never been there. That's
Really?
interesting. No.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a very popular club in West Palm Beach. So I was in the midst of Sea Breeze one night, and even though even we didn't come out of the club until 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, and church
Mm.
started 10 o'clock. So I had a couple of hours to get some rest to take this baby to church as I promised God. And so one day in the middle of Sea Breeze, I'm standing there and I'm like, listen, I don't really like these people. I don't really, the music, I keep hearing the music, and I had a conviction in my heart that I don't want anybody to molest my daughter
Mm.
by giving them my child and not overseeing what's going on. I
Mm.
can't develop my child in Christianity or in God really if I don't know who he is. And
Mm.
I grew up in church, so I know how to play church. I know the religious religiosity behind the church. I know all the moves and how to hoop and how and do
How
all
to
those
sound
things.
holy, how to do what
I
quote
know.
church people do. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
We used to mimic it as children. So, I knew how to do it, but that reality hit me. And I was like, I would never want anyone to hurt my child. And so that day I committed myself and I said I would never go back to a club again.
Wow.
And I think I went to one other because I said I promised my friend it was her birthday party, and I went. I said that after that, that will be my last time going to the
Yes.
club, and I kept my promise to God. And so after that, I ended up getting pregnant with my second daughter, and I got a phone call, and somebody said, "Hey, you know what happened to Brother Mike?" And I was like, "Is he dead?" Because that was his name,
Yeah.
Minister Mike. And so I was like, "Is he dead?" And then they were like, "No, he got arrested for
Thank
doing
you,
the
God.
same thing he did to you."
I was gonna ask because there's a thing with church people. We protect.
We
I'm talking about
It's not
all
only
different
church
type of things.
people.
No,
We
people
Yeah,
in
it's
families too. You can add that.
families. They protecting
They
families,
protect the same predators and
right?
perpetrators because they don't want to rock the boat. They don't want the scar, the judgment of the community on their family, on them, really. Not
Right,
the person, on them, because
right.
that's your uncle, that's your cousin, that's your father.
That's
So I was
right.
gonna ask, did he ever was he ever brought to justice?
He was brought to justice, and I testified against him. And
Wow.
this was many years after. I think it was maybe
Mhm.
10.
He was convicted here in Florida?
He was convicted in Florida because he ended up raping and molesting a stepsister couple, and I don't really want to
Okay, leave that
talk too
alone.
much.
Let's
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
So we'll move on
yeah.
from that. So
So
he was convicted.
he was convicted. I was able to testify against
Mm,
him, and my testimony actually saved because they couldn't try him for me because the jurisdiction of the time
yeah,
limit
the
was over
statute of
to attorney.
limitations had passed. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, but what happened is that my testimony helped them. And
Mm.
to me, I felt like I
And
had
it
to come
helped
and
you
rescue them.
too. It
Yeah, it
helped
did.
you too.
Because that's
Hmm.
where I got deliverance from it.
Yeah.
Because I actually really didn't remember it because I really put it in the back of my mind.
Most women bury it. Men too. Bury it,
Yeah.
bury it, bury it. Yeah.
But when I got that phone call, all of the memories, all the nightmares, the
Mm,
smells, the
hmm.
scents, the places where I was, it came
Yeah.
back to me.
Yeah.
And so I had to now walk through. God was really taking it out of me because I didn't even know it was still in me.
My God.
And God was literally unraveling until I had to go there and face Him for the first time in over 10 years.
Wow.
And I remember the day before they made the judgment against him, and I had a dream, and in the dream, I was singing this song. It was a church song. I haven't heard it in years because it's such an old song. And I was singing that I have the victory, I have the victory, I have the
Mhm.
victory. And in
Yes.
the dream, I remember the judge saying, "How many years should I try him?" And I woke up. And when I went to court the next morning, that's exactly what the judge asked me. How many years do you think he should get? Because he was going for 30 years each count
Wow.
for the children. And that's the time when I said, when I came to the realization that I forgave him because I didn't forgive him before.
Can I just pause you? Thank you for sharing this because, again, I'm hearing it again with my audience for the first time. I know it will help people because there
Yeah,
are people who are suffering in silence just as you were 10 plus years. Um, if you are in a situation where somebody is abusing you or has abused you, it's not your fault. You didn't ask for it.
right,
The maturity and age of usually the perpetrator versus the child in which they are grooming and exploiting and sexualizing before their time. It is something that, again, within our community, Black diaspora communities, we have a problem with rooting it out. And I think the more we talk about it, the more we take a firm stand that this is not something that needs to be shameful for the girl or the young person. It could be boy or girl.
right,
The victim, if you will. We need to be sure we are clear in our standard. People meet standards. That's why I think, again, we're in a society right now that the standards are changing, or I guess today it could be one thing tomorrow. But if you live, I'm talking about individually by a standard. That's why it's important. Go back and watch Developing Dad. He talks about if you don't have principles, manhood. We've been talking a lot about masculinity, right?
right,
Emasculation, excuse me, in the show that I did with Sir Hale Speaks. They both really drill down true masculinity and true manhood, starting with virtue.
mm,
You cannot be a man without virtue.
that's right,
There is no masculinity outside of that. There is brute force. There's huff and puff and blow your house down. But true masculinity, and when women can recognize this, oh my goodness, they'll produce more of it. It's not about the money he makes. It's not about the job. It's not about any of that. True masculinity begins with virtue. So I can't even imagine you having to live through this years later, testifying against the perpetrator. I want to know if any of that deeply buried hidden secret affected you as a wife and as a mom. You mentioned that you
oh
got
yeah,
married young. This is what I'm saying. Like my whole channel, that's why it didn't even take off on YouTube, y'all. I pivoted to current events. But really, I know my people need healing. At the end of the day, when I'm doing my events for women, when I was doing my empowerment, I was walking around with highly successful women who need healing,
that's
who
right, that's
weren't prepared to be married, who weren't prepared to be moms, hi, me included,
me too,
because there was so much hurt baggage in our nice little pretty little lives, in our Versace red bottomed up lives, that we weren't acknowledging. Therefore, we were going out, and I include my men in this, and re injuring other people in this journey, in our walks. And I realize there's a lot of people that won't go call a therapist. You say you didn't get therapy, won't go to church. However, you need to get it, get it. But if there's any kind of common thread that Lord, bringing me back to in this morning, is that understanding that your pain is real, your pain has a purpose, and your pain can be healed. But if we are not doing the work to heal it, it's going to come up. Most likely in your romantic relationships, most likely in your marriage, in how you raise your kid, how you treat people around you. A lot of people around here not just mad at you, they mad at themselves. They
Right.
mad at what they've been through. And there's a lot of unresolvedness that people are carrying around with them. So talk to me about how uh, the injury you experienced in this really abhorrent way through church manifested or impacted how you were a wife or how you were a mom.
Right. So what he did was just the icing on top of the cake, because I was also going through things with my father and everything else that was going on around me. So it was just the icing on top of the cake. And as a mother and a wife, I end up getting married very early because I was looking for someone to heal my wounds. And I was putting the healing on that person instead of putting it on me to try to find what's going on in my heart. And so, in that, I searched for that in who I married. And it became a point of issues in my marriage because I didn't tell him that I was raped or molested at the time. So he didn't know. He just knew that he married somebody that was very hard and
Yeah.
very, uh,
Cool. Cool.
yeah,
I'm sure.
cold and boisterous,
Yeah.
and I would fight at a drop of a dime,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
I
And then
know women like this. This is like I'm smiling with you because I know this.
yeah,
I know
it
this. Yeah.
was, and then it was my how I grew up too, because my family are very, like, I don't even know how to say it, but we're rough. We don't play
Rough
no
and tumble. Can we just
we don't play any games.
where in Jamaica did you grow up?
Kingston, Waterhouse.
Okay. Waterloo. Okay, all right. We know what time it is. We know what time it
Yeah.
is.
So yeah, there's yeah, I will fight. There was nothing in me. My cousin Marissa, she knows. she she knows.
Yeah,
I
well,
was
you had to protect yourself. You had to do what you had to do. We
I
don't
will fight
condone
anybody.
violence. Don't get me wrong. But when you grow up
Yeah,
certain places, I understand. Do you understand? Like it's
yeah. It was
survival almost.
yeah. It's a and it's a survival method, and it's a cover up method.
Mm.
And so my method of covering up. And so that was how it kind of proceeded there. And then I started having children, and then my husband used to ask me all the time. I used to Every time I bathed my oldest daughter, I used to check her.
Oh wow.
And so I never really trusted him with
Wow.
her.
Wow.
Like, so every time I come home, I'm like checking her, and he's like, "Why are you? Why
Wow.
every minute? Yeah, check the fitness." So like,
Right,
he's a
right,
Jamaican, so
right.
like, "Why are you checking her?
Wow.
That's weird." To him, it was so weird. I used to jump up in the middle of the night, check all the doors and the windows to make sure, especially her
Mm.
window.
Well, that's
I
post traumatic stress. That's because a trauma has occurred to you.
And I did
It is
not
it is
know.
manifesting in all these ways. Wow.
And I
Wow.
did not know. I didn't know.
Wow.
I thought it
Wow.
was normal. I thought I was being a protective mother. You know,
Wow.
my mother couldn't even babysit my daughter until I was having my second child almost 4 years later. I didn't
Wow.
trust anybody with
And
her.
children. No, but that is a natural response, a natural protective response to say, no, no, I don't want this to happen to my daughter. I don't want this to happen to my
Right.
child. So you get that defensive mode, mommy bear on steroids almost. Like, no, this is never, ever, ever, ever gonna happen to someone like my daughter. So when you say you got delivered, so clearly give me in your so your husband never so you never told your husband any of this.
He found out the day that I got the phone call that
I
he was
forgot to
pregnant.
tell you, by sorry for interrupting. You can't use the
Okay.
R word on YouTube. So we're gonna say assault.
Assault,
When you
yeah.
were assault. I'm sorry, I didn't even think, but I'm all in the story. But so he had never told him, you never had told him about that assault, and then he had always kind of just seen this behavior and accepted it.
he used to question it, but then I'm his wife. What he's not.
Yeah.
He just he accepted that that's who he married, and we didn't know. And I do want to make this out to the audience too. There's certain personality characters that we think that is just part of our nature, and it's not.
Mm.
And so when I realized that this hard and cold and fight or flight person was not part of my nature, that helped me to go proceed and find a therapist, find someone to talk to try to decode
Well,
who I
okay, so
really was.
eventually
Eventually,
you look in the mirror, you see the woman looking back at you. You're like, wait a minute, this all this behavior hubby been saying, why you do that? Why are you doing this? Why are you not trusting me, husband? Because if we marry a man, you'd assume we're trusting him with, our babies. He's wondering, what did I do? What happened? He probably knew something was wrong. Links, thank you for this. Energy is neither created nor destroyed, it's taken on another form. What we don't face will
right.
be formed.
That's right.
Wow. So, yes, Neville, thank you. She has gotten therapy. Thank you for suggesting anyone who has expert. Neville's like, wait, let me get to the bottom of this. Neville,
Right. No,
she took the step,
my
Neville. Thank
spiritual
you.
brother is definitely a therapist.
Look,
Yeah.
yeah, let me do a quick reset because Neville, like, what are we talking about here? Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Suzette Speaks here, along with Dr. Tanisha Allen. She's telling us her personal story as she opens up about some of her uh most challenging and almost tragic stages of life, how she has gotten back into her. I'm just curious how people go through these things and then still serve God
Hmm.
in a religious context. I would be totally scarred. I have been totally scarred, not in this similar situation, but just church hurt in general. And then we're gonna get to her 5K because we're gonna talk about the 5K too. But I think people like to know people, and I think again, your personal testimony is going to help a lot of folks. So hubby's been seeing all kind of weird behavior. I want to ask you a question, but I don't know if it's off limits. But I want to ask you a question. If it's off limit, tell me. Did it impact your romantic relationship with your husband?
Um, I would say yes.
Okay.
Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way.
Okay.
I felt that the more I gave it is the more I keep him,
Oh, interesting.
because
Interesting.
that's how I felt like men related to women.
Mm, interesting. Interesting.
So
I'm just curious in that sense. Go ahead.
yeah, so I have to choose my words.
No, we're gonna
you
be
know,
careful with it. No,
yeah,
it just,
so
I wanted to ask it. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, okay,
no,
this
it's
is
not.
going to
It's
my.
not off limits because
But
I've been through. I walked through it, and because I do counsel women that has gone through similar situation, sometimes worse, or maybe not as much. That it benefits the community, to be honest. And a lot
yeah,
of times we don't speak about things as intimacy,
right,
sexuality, and all these things because we think
right,
it's off limits. This is what sends our young girls into the hands of danger. And
exactly.
so I believe that there's nothing off limits to ask because it's helping somebody out. So
Yeah,
for me, I didn't struggle in that area
yeah.
in a bad way. I just thought that that's how men related to women. And so I felt like I had to be hypersexual
Wow.
and in my pursuit to being with my husband,
Mm,
because it was also a fear that he will leave me, and then I won't find anybody else. It was so it played out in so many ways, and I found out that I was also afflicting trauma because
tell me what it means.
I was being so overprotective. I was being so overbearing. I was being so quarrelsome, and there were just other things that insecure about certain things that was playing out, that I afflicted trauma on my marriage. I afflicted trauma on my children, and now I have to unravel all of these things that I have unknowingly created out of my ignorance to what trauma did to me.
My goodness. My goodness. I have the lead attorney in the building. Thank you. He's one of the biggest YouTubers around. Thank you for
Hey.
being here. Lead always gets on me when I have deep conversations and deep shows about women who have been through very, very difficult traumas. So Lead, you might want to sit this one out. We've been doing a little bit of good work, I believe, in understanding, how someone is affected by childhood traumas and what it looks like to overcome them. We are going to talk a little bit about her now. Let's pivot. Yeah, he's giving me the ha because we've had this conversation, guys, offline. Where I'm like, Lee, people need to hear these conversations. This is life. This is when people, the Bible. I think no, let me not say that. The church, because the Bible got a lot of stuff I don't think people realize is in the Bible, but the church doesn't do a good job with understanding how people can apply a lot of what is taught to real life. I think sometimes church leaves you sometimes with he's like, well, maybe you can come on my show and we can get deep. You know what, Lee? About you. Listen, that's not, we listen, we stand on topic. Listen, I like what you're saying, Lee. But let's stay on topic today. But deep in a sense that it's very understandable that a lot of people sit on a lot of things and don't think others can relate because they feel isolated, they feel alone, they feel like they're the only one that has gone through trauma. But what I wanted to show with my platform is that many of us have the similar experiences, and to get on the other side of them, sometimes you have to hear how someone else did. So, in that regard, I want to ask you, thank you again, Lead, for being here. So, as you started to face the woman in the mirror and say, God, my life, how I'm raising my children, how I relate to my husband, even though, quote unquote, a lot of um, Lead, I'm not going to put up no more comments, but a lot, no, Lead out here clowning. Lead out here clowning. But the on a serious note, so a lot of women don't wake up from the constant beating up of oneself, holding on to insecurity, overprotection of their children, relating to their husband, and probably not the most healthy way in order to try to keep him, quote unquote,
Or choosing
and
him
only
in the
thinking
most
that.
unhealthy way too.
Pardon?
And choosing him in the most unhealthy way too.
What does that mean?
Because you choose out of your trauma.
Mm, mm. So finding someone who is hopefully going to heal you, you
Right.
feel, without even thinking about it out loud,
Right.
not even conscious of that's why you chose this person.
Right.
Interesting. Interesting. Are you still married?
Actually, I just got a divorce.
Wow.
I'm a divorcee. We were married for 15 years. I still
Wow.
love him, and
Wow.
we're still parents of three beautiful girls. But yeah,
Woo, I think we got to go. That might be a part two. We might have to come back now to
we
Tanisha
can do
Allen.
part
I didn't
two.
expect that. Whoa. I'm here learning
Part
about
two.
her. Thank you for being so open. Again, Dr. Tanisha Allen, we're going to get to your project, your baby. But I think this is more important when we get to know people. And again, thank you because you're a woman in ministry.
Yeah.
Your openness, your transparency, your ability to kind of really look at and say out loud, this happened to me and this is how I heal from it. So selecting even a person to live with, be married to out of trauma happens as a result of a lot of what you have already described.
Right.
So, as you look, like I said, in the mirror and say, Gosh, I finally can see the behavior for what it is, how do you identify, or when do you decide to take that step? Like, I need help to process everything that happened to me. Was it post the testimony at the trial? You said that helped you get delivered. Talk a little bit about how you came to the realization finally, or gave yourself permission, even. Or some people don't even have the awareness. So, how did that testifying against your abuser, seeing what your behavior was like around around family, how did that lead you to getting to the therapy?
Um, I didn't get therapy right at that
Okay.
moment. Um, After I testified, because at that around that time I started my journey with God again, and so I went back to church. I got baptized. I recommitted myself to God, and I got serious. So at that time, again, I didn't know that I needed help. It was just the trial that brought out all this stuff inside of me, and so it made me realize how hurt I was. And really and truly, at the time, I didn't know how to access therapy. I didn't know how to. do it because I thought therapy costs a lot of money. I also had there was a stigma around therapy as well, you know. But I went to, I I I I found therapy in God, I guess, at the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that that's the only way we're supposed to do therapy, because I'm an advocate for therapy.
Jesus plus therapy is what we say around here.
It is, listen, it needs to be married, because
Yes.
that's the reason
Yes.
why we have people that are hurt, because they have not gone through the purging of the psyche, you know, of what they've gone through,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we
Absolutely.
we have to purge our emotions, a lot of times. And so when people don't really mean to hurt you, they hurt you, so going through
So
that.
that was years later that you decided to get therapy. You had been living in a marriage kind of with these kind of characteristics for that whole time?
Right, when I realized that, I was not, I I think my I literally just started getting therapy.
Just yesterday.
Not yesterday, but I started seeking it maybe 4 years ago. And
Wow.
that was only because I started to have issues in the marriage.
Mm,
And
mm,
again, it wasn't a resource that I had. I
mm.
didn't know that insurance could pay for therapy. Like, now
Right.
I know that now. Before, I
Absolutely.
thought you had to have money to pay for somebody to be your therapist. I didn't know that. And so this is where
It sounds
uneducation
like
came from.
something white people do. Can I just say that out loud? Because a
Right,
lot of us in the diaspora, in the Black diaspora, African American, Caribbean American, African, wherever you're there, Black diaspora
yeah,
has
it's
had
a
this
white person thing.
stigma with therapy, to think that, again, it's only for rich people, mostly Caucasian brothers and sisters, to understand their issues. We don't have them issues.
We
We
don't
good.
have them issues.
Thank you, RM, for saying it out loud. Therapy rocks. A lot of times when we are seeking a partner, we just did this. This is like so in line with a lot of the discussions I've had all week about Dr. Thunder. Shout out to him. At the end of the show, with Developing Dad, he talked about the biggest issue affecting Black folks in our dating is partner selection.
Right,
And understanding who we are is
right,
the biggest part of partner selection. We trying to select from oftentimes a place of brokenness.
right. We're trying to find our daddies.
So you gonna find, help us all, God. I'm not perfect. How to unpack that is seeking help through professionals who are trained in the line of work, which is going to identify your pain, your triggers, the post traumatic stress which she just described that she was living, and we was just calling it life and her personality. No, normal people don't have to go and double check their daughter 10 times a day. That's not
Right.
normal,
That's not normal. It's not
right?
normal.
But we, pass it off as we just being, protective moms. We just being, okay, I got to make sure my husband get this, that, and the third. No, actually, you got to figure out why you feel that way. So I'm glad, even if years later, it sounds like married 15, you said, so about 4 years.
15 years. Yeah.
Wow. So 10 years later, post marriage. Wow. So, and you said difficulties in the marriage is what kind of help you get to that point. You know, we all, this is like, again, go back and watch this week's shows, y'all. Go back and watch this week's shows. Let me read some of the chat links saying fact. Um, we
Right.
have yeah, fun fact. RM says they are qualified trauma expert. There are, excuse me, qualified trauma expert Christian psychotherapists, and I don't even know this for a friend. Okay, thank you. Dr. Thunder says, my ears out. Nice to see you, Doc. Just talking about you. My ears are ringing. Absolutely.
We're
Um,
calling your name.
so therapy helped you in what way?
It, it helped me realize that I'm not as good as I thought I was.
Mm, meaning good, meaning okay on the inside.
Okay on the inside
Emotional
and a good
state,
person.
psychological. Oh, as a good person. You meant that way too.
Yeah, I
Okay.
meant that way too. Good on the
Okay.
inside and a good person, because remember, I was walking in Christianity.
Mm,
And so I became self-righteous in a way, kind of, and I realized that, even though, and just FYI, my husband is not a Christian, or
mm,
ex-husband now. So I had to, I was like saying, he's a sinner, that type of thing. And
Oh,
I
geez.
know what God is saying, and I thought I knew more. But when I sat in that therapy room and I heard my husband open up his heart, I was like, wow, I didn't know how ugly I was,
Oh, boy.
you know, and it made me go on a pursuit, because one of the first things in that, when you are living a life talking to God, he exposes your inner heart.
Mm,
And so God was already exposing my heart and exposing the details that I didn't even remember that was sitting in my heart, and caused me to now go and justify the issues that I had with myself, and the issues that I've created because of things I allow and things that just fell upon me because life happened. And so now, hearing my ex-husband talk about these things, I was putting two and two together, and I was like, hey, you can't just live a facade of a Christian woman, which I was morally correct, but I was being immoral in my character. And so I now had to develop what a godly woman look like, and take off the masculinity, because I was walking in such a masculine nature. And that my husband used to say all the time, he's like, oh, wear the pants, me are you like? And I'm like, me, I wear the pants, and I didn't know that it was affecting him, it was affecting my children. And I didn't want my girls to I didn't want to have this generational cycle happen, where we put on this persona that we have to be masculine women to be able to win in society. And we have to understand that being a woman in all the virtue and the nature that we are is strength. And once I was able to understand strength in my humility, strength in my weakness, and submission doesn't mean that you make a man walk all over you. That's not
right.
what it means. But it
Hold
means
on, sis. You preaching right now. You preaching. I'm gonna have to hold you up because I don't want to stop the train because they be talking about you always interrupting. I have to process, guys.
yeah, let's process.
While she's saying something really good now, I don't want to pass over what she just said because it's super important what she just said, and we're gonna get deeper. What I'm hearing, and I'm not putting words in your mouth. Explain for me when women come from trauma. Y'all don't be mad at me. Y'all stepping. I'm gonna step on your toes though.
Step on it.
Oftentimes some of the overcompensation that we have to make or we feel that we have to make puts us in a masculine frame of thought.
Right.
Oh my gosh, they tell me there's no more masculine and feminine. I know there's still masculine and feminine. Y'all mad?
I was.
However, unless you do the work that she talks about here, therapy after almost what 11 years of marriage, you've been married to a man 11 years, and for the first time you got to hear his heart, his true exposed heart, no filters. And in hearing what her husband was saying about her, it slapped her in the face. Sorry, I'm just gonna be
Box me right into my
boxy
face.
in your mouth, bums, swallow that, bums. Now again, help us all. And I'm coming from the Christian worldview, been there, where I think I'm living a certain way, pleasing God, following the good book, lining up my life. But the people that we're supposed to minister to first is our household. So we got it all together at the church house. We have it all together when we're in front of people outside, the ministry out there. But our very first ministry as a woman, as a wife, help me God one day, is to your family, to your husband, your kids, and the walk that you have with them, powered by Jesus Christ in our worldview, is the definition of living holy. But many of us get caught up in the auspices of the offices that we
Right.
hold in
Right.
and out of church, at the job. They know we're Christian at the job. They know we're Christian through our ministry mantle and titles. But the people that we are charged with walking in, it's the most difficult walk, is within our own household. Help us all, God. Help us, God. That is not an easy thing. Life is messy. Family is messy. Family is hard. You love
It's
your husband, but you want to choke him sometimes,
it's
what
hard.
I hear, right? But for you to see you for the first time then, it's so powerful. People wait. That's why we encourage in therapy earlier.
Early, before
Because
you get
you've been
married.
married to a man 10, 11 years and you just now seeking therapy. I'm like mind blown.
I
Not
I
that I'm
wish
perfect.
I tell anybody this, that if me and my husband, my ex-husband, I'm so used to saying husband, me and my
Mm,
ex-husband would have or gotten counseling at the beginning, even though we got married very young, our marriage would have went totally different.
yeah. That's
Um,
that's a that's a tool now for other people to realize. Thank you for
yeah,
saying that. That is not your own. That's not a judgment of you. You're young. You don't know what you don't know. You're just trying to live according to the good book. Go to church, pray, try to find Jesus, try to find Jesus. But again, this therapy thing is real, y'all. So to be able to see one's own self, to see one's own shortcomings, help me, oh God, to be able to see. Wait, you're not perfect. You
yeah,
want him to be, but you not.
yeah. I wanted him to be such the husband that I imagined in my head, but I was such not the wife that I should have been either.
Did you cry?
When he said that, no,
Yeah.
no, because
You're just hard up
yeah,
yourself. I'm
yeah,
not.
I'm gonna bow them type of tears in front of people.
Nah, I hear it, but I'm not gonna sit here with a stone face. Just
I
make
heard
him stand up and
it hit
stare. Stand up
me.
and stare
It was like a gunshot to the head, but I was like, ooh, ah,
in front of other people, in front
in
of the
front
therapist.
in front of the therapist. I had to shift myself, you know.
And I want to lead that back into what you were saying. Let me read the chat. The chat is lighting up about
Yeah, it is like I'm reading.
having to walk in your masculine. I'm gonna bring up the comments. Clarify that for me. When you realize this big realization, A, I'm not treating my husband right. My husband is getting the worst of me.
Yeah,
The man who
and my
I
children.
pledge an oath to God to be by his side, take care of him take care of me. Meeting of the minds, cultivating you cultivating me, loving you in spite of your shortcomings. You wasn't fully able to do that because of trauma. Understood.
Right, right,
Understood.
right.
That's a huge gem. So know that you are attributing some of that trauma to being more masculine than you needed to in
Mhm.
your marriage. Explain what that means.
It meant being controlling. I had to control every matter in the house. It made, and I belittled, and what I learned in, not my husband wasn't perfect, but I know I wasn't perfect either.
Right.
Um, but what I learned is that men love respect, and women, you know,
We
we
take it
need
away.
something else.
We
We need
use we use we use the respect though as a playing card. You want it
right,
today?
right.
You know I get.
And so
Oh Jesus, help us.
I emasculated him with my masculinity, and I just tore him to shreds instead of building him up. And I did that over the years unknowingly,
Give me
doing
an
that to him.
example. Since you're doing work, give me an example of what that looked like.
Um, that all his ideas are stupid
Mm,
because I didn't see the vision that he was carrying, or everything he did was wrong. If he bathed the baby, he never bathed the baby good. If he pulled out the baby here, he didn't do it right. Like, I criticized everything that he did until he decided not to do it anymore.
wow.
And I had to control the household and have it under certain requirements. So that's, and I never showed him my softness, you know. So, you know, even if I felt like, basically, I never gave him all of me.
Mm,
So, because I felt like if I gave him my all of me, that I would lose me.
mm.
And I was so afraid to give him all of me, because every time I gave somebody all of me, like Minister Mike and all the other people that took advantage of me, it hurt me and it tore a piece of me. So he just got the ruins of my heart. And so it was that nature that I tried to cover it up with, you know, with how I treated
Being
him.
in control, criticizing,
Yeah.
tearing down, trying to make yourself look bigger. He can't do anything right. He's not going to get, that sense of respect.
Wow.
The attaboy. The yes, men need praise.
Yeah.
All right. This is just, you call it respect on top. of, or maybe respect first. And
Right.
praise is a sign of respect, probably is a better way to put that.
And to be real honest, my husband was telling me these things in the marriage, and because I was so ignorant and I was so hard, I didn't listen. There was this one time, there was this girl that was trying to get at my husband, and she was actually a mutual friend, and he turned to me and he said to me, because he let me know what was going on, and he said to me, he said, "You see this?" Because she was telling him, "Oh, you're such a good husband, you're such a good father, you're such a good this, and you're such a good that," because he was taking care of me. I'll give him that. He was taking care of me, and she
Meaning you
wasn't.
weren't working, you were
I
staying
wasn't.
home.
Yeah, I wasn't working really. I work if I wanted to. If they upset me on the job, I walk off. That's that type of.
That man got you at home.
He had me. Yeah, he really. Yeah, yeah.
I'm
So
not
I'll
gonna
give
be
him that.
mad. I'm not gonna be mad because I know who you are now, but I can imagine back then, full of trauma, you couldn't see it. So go ahead.
Yeah, I
Go
couldn't
ahead.
see it. So he was telling me, like, "You see this girl? You see, at least she's telling me these things."
Wow.
And I was like, and in my head, I got offensive. I got, defense. I was like, so what? You want me to tell you this? You don't already know this. Like, why do I need to tell you these things? You
Right.
already know that you're a good father. You already know that you're a good husband. I shouldn't have to tell you this.
Oh
And
my.
I didn't know that I should have took that signal and started to compliment him. But I was so hard in tearing him down, because if as soon as he did something wrong, I said, "You're not a good husband." Like I was so, because I'm very,
That hurt them, That's a deep cut.
yeah, because that's how they frame their whole being in
Their sense of self
protecting
is
their
around,
house. Yes.
identity is around husband, job.
And I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know this.
Mm-hmm.
That's that my next
No,
husband
we
is gonna
doing
be
worse.
voting.
Somebody gonna watch this and it's gonna save a marriage somewhere.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
gonna
saving
save us.
marriages out here.
It's
That's why I
you are sis, because people even in the dating scene, men and women are getting this type of individual who is walking around with heaviness. We call it heavy trauma.
said, right,
And like, thank you, Easy Gospel Piano Lesson says, when our body suffers traumatic injury, physical therapy is not detectable, excuse me, not debatable. So I wonder if the issue is recognizing or acknowledging the trauma. I think that's a
right.
good question. I think,
Yeah.
go ahead, respond,
You
please.
you 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 don't recognize it because you think you got it. And I think because, especially in our Black communities, we are so um, we pride ourselves in getting over issues and not really dealing with issues. And
Yes.
so we believe that when we're able to move on, we have forgotten what had already happened to
And
us.
we move not a piece on. We just don't
No,
talk about it no
we
more, but
just
it's
we just
still
added it
living.
to the baggage that's on our
It's
back.
still the bag of ladies. Now we just bringing more baggage to
More
the next
baggage.
man and to the next man, and we got more baggage and hurt. Yeah, it's
Heavy.
crazy. People in the
It's
chat
crazy.
really responding. Miss Gold, we're just gonna read a few of the comments. Not verbalizing appreciation for him is like death to a man. Death.
It's death. Yeah. Let us
Yes, we
know.
will leave the word out, giving him that. Yep. Men need praise, says Doreen,
Right.
especially from their wives. Wow. OMG. Don't OMG her, because this what she being transparent, y'all. I thank her for opening up, because there are other
Listen,
people
my,
living
my
this
next
truth.
husband, my next
We
husband
gonna
will get
learn.
all the goodness.
Help
He'll
us,
get
oh God.
all the
Yeah,
goodness.
because you weren't ready. Honestly,
I wasn't
trauma
ready.
being what
Yeah,
was defining your personality. It what you wasn't even ready to give him what a husband deserves or what a wife should be. You couldn't. I'm vice versa. What you see
hold
in the
on,
chat,
easy gospel. You are prophesying. A
baby?
book is coming. A book is
Okay, perfect.
coming.
Yeah, cause we need help. We need help. I'm probably gonna invite you back on our Patreon too, because this is so deep. Respect is a currency. Absolutely.
Yes,
Jeez.
jeez, that's
I
yeah.
Doreen says men have a tough exterior, but they're
Wow.
so I agree.
Yeah,
Inside, hello, they got souls, they got spirits that need to be built up as
right.
well. And
The
we
Bible.
don't see it like that. We think, oh, they could just take everything out your mouth. No, they can't. They absolutely cannot. Whew. RM says Jen's next on the manosphere says accountability is kryptonite to black women. Please, yeah, we're doing accountability. Thank you. We're talking about things that we may not even know better than yet. So we're opening up this book, and I thank you for rocking with me, Doc, because a lot of people would not share that side of them because they're afraid of judgment. They're afraid of
Mhm.
being. But thank goodness for you, having been healed. That tells me that you're on the other side of it because you can talk
On the
about
other
it.
side.
So I'm grateful. Yes, easy saying. The ruins of my heart book can give you. Hit the like button if you're enjoying this stream. The Miss Creative adds, sometimes it's important to wait out on getting married because damage can happen. I agree with that. A
Amen.
lot of damaged people getting
Amen.
married. We worry about the divorce rate, but I realize a lot of people who shouldn't be married in the first place have gotten or are trying out this thing as a form of trying to heal, as a form of trying to get through trauma. And it's not. The work has to be done prior. Help us all to realize that. Um, Oh, they want to get back. Gwendolyn, like, can she get back together? Since she has been acknowledging what the issues were on her way to dealing with it and healing, can they reconcile? We cheer for you, sis. This is
No, we can't
not us,
reconcile.
everybody in the chat. Nice to see you, Dre. Robert adds, I went through it with my former wife. She saw my goodness 2 years after we were divorced. This is real life, guys.
It's real life.
Life is not easy. Life is, again, we know what we know when we know it. Even like I said, even though I look back and think, oh man, I should have been dating much more in my 20s. I should have been the no. You know what you know when you know it. So, and you don't know what you don't know. So we can be sitting in mess. And I go back to this Jennifer Lewis quote: "You can be surrounded by bleep, and it doesn't smell anymore because you're so used to it."
That's right.
So once you recognize, oh, there's a smell in here, then you can get up out of that mess, try to rebuild, move forward, create change, seek therapy, get help to formulate the mindset you need so you don't ever tolerate mess again. And you have done that work. I'm proud of you. I'm proud
Oh,
of
thank
you
you.
because going through this process, a whole marriage with kids, etc., to learn some of these lessons is hard because other people, children are involved,
Yeah,
right? So nobody wants to say, oh my gosh, my marriage didn't work out. Everybody's afraid of that. So we stay and we try and we do this. But look at how it has brought you to another level of understanding, you and a future partner. You wouldn't have had that.
I
And
wouldn't
thank
have.
God, I'm not going to say it, but I hear this. That man needed a little freedom too. Praise God. Let him.
Probably did. He probably did.
I don't mean it to be judgy, but I mean it to be like, golly.
Yeah, he had to endure some stuff. I had to endure some things too, but
I bet, I bet
but
both
I'm
parties.
speaking
Yeah.
on me because the best thing that I could do is expose these things that was inside of me, to try to help others, because one thing is that marriage is two-sided. We become one, but when trouble happens, it becomes two-sided. And so when you go through these things or issues in life, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't have to be a divorce of
Hmm.
any kind. We have to recognize where we play the fault.
Yes,
And
where
if
we
you
played a
don't,
role in it.
right.
Absolutely.
And if we
Absolutely.
don't recognize that, we will never truly get healing.
Girl, I'm gonna have to change the subject of the interview. I'm gonna have to change the title. This is so good.
We running on to Kaleidoscope because this is how
We're gonna go
Kaleidoscope was
forward now to
born.
the kaleidoscope. My God, I'm enjoying the conversation, y'all. This is Dr. Tanisha Allen. She has been exposing her heart, her journey, and we're hoping it will help somebody
Yes,
through marriage, through tough times after facing abuse as a child. And we're talking about how trauma can impact us into adulthood in ways we don't even realize and recognize until it's sometimes too late. And we've
yeah,
done damage to other people. We've done damage to ourselves and to our marriage. But she's healed. She's come forward and she's still serving. And we're going to get now into your service. Like I said, we've gone the long route in a good way to understand who you are and how your service, now that you told me all this and now I recognize, God, I just listening to you, I imagine, not knowing you personally, first time we're meeting here,
yes.
the level your heart is at now, I would want to follow you, darling, because you've been through
Oh,
so
oh
much.
my God.
And
Don't let me
that
cry.
that pain of recognition of
Oh,
oneself that you are not who you think you are. I've been through that, and it's a heavy pain. That
yeah,
is it's a healing process to get to another side of something, but it's a heavy pain. It hurts. So to hear that you are on this path still seeking God's face, working in ministry, trying to help others, it says a lot. It says a lot. So I understand. There's people that when they say that they bleed while they're leading. This is
yeah.
real.
It's real. It's
A
real.
lot of people, that's when your home life is really under attack, when you choose to go out in front and lead people and try to get people, to lead a more godly life that's when you know, all heck starts to break loose on your home front a lot of times. So to hear that you got, again, the outcome of divorce, everybody's like, oh no, but she lost. But she didn't. She didn't.
Loose.
My God, she didn't. So talk about now you're in ministry, and you now look into what, tell me what you do in ministry first. I'm assuming what you do in ministry. Tell me about your ministry and what you do in ministry.
I'm a I'm a pastor at my I'm associate pastor at my church. I'm under um a man of God named Reverend Seth Amabwatan, and I'm one of his pastors in the church. So that's what I do in ministry at church. But other than that, I have my own organization called Kabod Ministry, which umbrellas Dr. Tanisha Allen and I Want to Die But Help Me Live. The Kabod portion of it deals with all my nonprofit
They
needs to
saying we
women.
might be cousins. Sorry.
Right, right.
I'm like, we're gonna check after the show, but
We
sorry.
gonna check.
So
We gonna
you work
research.
for a church in a ministry under the a pastor, but you
Yes.
also have your own ministry called Kabod,
Mm-hmm.
Kobod.
Yes.
Okay, just so people understand what you're saying. Okay,
Yes.
ministries, and you
Yes.
also have a brand that is your name,
That
Dr.
is my
Tanisha
name.
Allen. That's what you're saying. You are
Yes.
Dr. Tanisha Allen.
I am
It's
Dr.
your
Tanisha.
brand of Dr. Tanisha Allen. And what do you do in Kabod and your brand?
So Kabod has everything to do with all my nonprofit work. And
Okay.
so that's why we're doing Kaleidoscope. We're reaching out to the orphanage. Later on this year, we'll be trying to organize a backpack giveaway as well. And so it is kind of governs over everything else that's me. So
Hmm.
I'm under Kabod Ministry with as Dr. Tanisha Allen, as an author, as a mentor, as a speaker, a preacher, everything else. And then I want to die but help me live, which is my mentorship program that I mentor all sorts of women. Of
Well, we're gonna need the mentorship. Y'all, she knows what she's talking about. Big up Peter, Investor M on the super chat. He just came in. Thank you so much, saying salute. Appreciate the love and the generosity, sir. Everybody, no, we gotta move forward because we're gonna talk about some other things. Let me just finish up some of the chat. I love it. Easy gospel piano lessons coming through. I believe in checkups to either ensure health or discover something wrong mentally, emotionally too, not just physical. I agree with you.
right,
Rather than limp around, than for a doctor to tell him or her what they need to hear. This is true for therapy as well. I see you. Everybody's like all in the relationship. I bet they were our wonderful parents or co-parents, etc. Kimo wants you to get back. So why would she not give him a chance to reconcile? Y'all get out her business. She is gone in that direction. We don't know. We gonna leave it there. We'll probably do a part 2 or maybe do a Patreon exclusive. Nema's created. I could imagine being married at an early age. I was foolish. Me too. Sometimes when people are like, "Oh, the earlier the better," some of it I do agree with because I do think you get scarred a lot longer that you wait. A lot of people in the quote dating market, and we talked about that dating, what that word even means and comes from in the last show. I feel like it creates wounds. So I do kind of feel like, okay, but I saw something on Instagram, yes, information on Instagram, uh, from a doctor, I forget her name, and I posted it on my stories about thinking her theory being a man should not get married before 35 and a woman should not get married before 30. And she goes into why. I thought there were some good nuggets in
interesting.
her theory.
I would
Again, not
love to
saying
hear
that.
that one.
Yeah, I'll probably share it with you because it was very interesting. Link says no losses, only
Yes.
lessons,
Only lessons.
100%. Once we learn to accept, this journey is going to teach us some soft and then some hard lessons. But thank you, God, for all of them. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Hit the like button. Again, Dr. Tanisha Allen, we're going to pivot now. Thank you for sharing so much about your personal journey. And I want to encourage you to visit her ministry websites for mentorship, mentoring girls or women, both.
Um, the girls. I will have to get permission from their
Okay,
parents.
mostly women. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry,
mostly
excuse me.
women. Yeah.
So women through all this type of similar what should I say, challenges that you've had basically, or what kind of
No,
mentoring do you do?
I'm mentoring. I'm mentoring women who wants to get over their trauma.
Cool. Cool. So
Yeah.
that's, I mean, that encompasses a lot. So we'll leave
Yeah.
it there. So
So
Kabod
whatever your trauma
K-A.
is.
Yeah, I'll probably type it up here so people could get it.
Big
So
up to RM. I'm seeing her spamming the comment
yes,
section with
checking
my
the chat. She
information.
got it. Oh, boom. I'm here
Thank
loud
you
to put
so
it.
much.
RM already put it. Hello. She's the
Thank you
best,
so
one of
much.
the best
God bless you.
moderators ever. So there you can find, thank you. More about her ministry, kabodinc.org, as well as sign up for Kaleidoscope, which is what we're here to talk about now. So, Kaleidoscope, this project is a color run by your ministries. So, explain what it is first and foremost.
Okay, so my we've decided to partner and adopt City of Refuge Orphanage, which is in St. Andrews, Jamaica. It has 52 children ranging from the age of 3 to 18 years old, and they need uniform for 2022 and 2023 school year, which is the next school year coming in September. Um, and so we're raising money to try to ensure that they get at least 4 uniforms, because usually they get only 2 uniforms for the year, according to how the donations come in. And if I'm a mom, so I can't imagine, and they wash with their hands, I can't imagine every 2 days or every other day you have to wash a uniform. And they do not really have as much as help, to ensure that the children uniforms are clean. And I would like for them to have at least 2 shoes. A lot of the children goes to many different schools, of course, we know, according to their testing scores. So some of them have to walk far to catch bus, because where the orphanage is located, you could go to City of Refuge, Google it on the internet, you'll see them. They're on a hill, so the children are walking down the hill into the
Hmm.
different varying places in Kingston to either catch the bus or go to the nearby schools. And so I've spoken to them. Their hub is actually here in Florida, so in
Wow.
Orlando, Florida, which is
Hmm.
under another church who is the organizational management for um, the orphanage. And so I would like for these children to be able to get adequate um, school uniforms, school shoes, and school supplies. Me and my team will also be going to Jamaica in July, because I'm going to do a VBS program for a week long. I'm bringing my children as well so they can have the experience. And we're going to
Fantastic.
be with them for 1 week as well, where I will be presenting them with, a mock check. I will already have given the money to the church in Orlando to assure that they get their uniform as well. And we have to get it to them early. Why I'm doing it in June, because all their uniforms have to be made. It's not like us, we go to a store and buy.
No, yeah, I'm glad you're bringing this up because a lot
Yeah,
of people don't understand how, again, school in other countries work. Now, here in the
right.
States, many places, public school speaking, have adopted uniforms K through 5, kindergarten through 5th grade. A lot of people, sometimes I think even up to middle school,
Yeah,
depending on the part of the country that you're in. But in Jamaica, uniforms are required.
it's
Like
required
all schools, children wear a uniform. That's how you know school children. They got on their uniform. It's iron pressed to the T.
to the T.
And you're talking about orphans, children that don't have, parents.
Right.
So for them to get clothing is literally donation is the only way to get them to be, up to par with what is expected, and of course to be on par with their schoolmates.
Yeah.
So for us, let's put it in context. Again, some people may not understand. Again, nothing is free in a lot of other countries when it comes to schooling. You pay the school fee, you have to pay basically like a tuition, not just on a private school, public schools. Like this is
Public
how it
schools.
works.
Yeah.
And again, you have to pay for all your books, you have to pay for your uniforms, you have to be able to afford to go to school. That's why a lot of kids don't end up going to school, which is a whole
That's
nother issue. So, in support of this orphanage, where these young people again are there through no fault of their own, they need the same things every other child would need. So I'm just grateful for your partnership with this orphanage so that the kids can get just, at least adequate, at least as much as what other kids who have parents would normally get. So
right.
so you have 52 students. What age ranges do you know?
Yes, 3 to 18.
Okay, so
Yeah.
3 to 18, and this is for the upcoming school year.
Yes.
So the Kaleidoscope Run will support uniform purchases. That's what's up
Yeah.
for the uh uh say the name again. Hope Refuge. Tell me again.
City of Refuge.
City. I'm talking about Hope, but yeah, Hope was in my head. City of Refuge. Thank you. City of Refuge Orphanage in St. Andrews,
St. Andrew,
Jamaica.
Jamaica. Yeah.
So, and I see here 100% of contributions will go towards providing, help for the orphanage. Is that true for the color run?
Yes, yes.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So, guys, you know, if you support, even if you can't come, buy a ticket or something.
Buy a
Uh,
ticket. That's right.
yeah, get a ticket. It's on Eventbrite. Thank you, RM. Busy, 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 in helping to inform the chat. So if you're watching either on Suzette Speaks Facebook or Jamaica's.com Facebook page, you can come over to YouTube to my channel and you can get all the information. It's also in the description as well to find Dr. Allen. So tell me about the color run. Yay, Andrew talking about he's down. Let's go. So
Yeah,
for the
let's
people here,
go.
the color run. What happens during a what's different with a 5K and a color run? That is a 5K.
So 5K is 3.1 miles. So you can walk it, you can run it. And as you're walking or running it, you're going to be listening to clean soca calypso music that
Okay.
will be going
The
on.
Holy Ghost kind. Hallelujah.
No Holy Ghost. It's going to be calypso and soca.
Okay.
I don't
Sorry, I was putting in Jesus. Okay, so regular, secular, but
regular
not but
music.
clean,
It's
but
gonna
clean.
be
Okay, got it, got it, got
clean,
it.
yeah, clean regular music. That's gonna be up there, so you could be jamming while you're walking or running, throughout the park. And it's going to be it's a hot day, but we're doing it early, and so it's gonna be really windy. That park is very very windy, so you don't have to
What's the name
do
of the
that.
park? Where is it gonna be?
Dyer Park
Dyer Park in West Palm.
in West Palm,
Hmm.
yes. And so as you're running, we will be throwing it's cornstarch powder on you and sprinkling over you. We're gonna be giving you all the ones that sign up. We'll be getting free T-shirts, so you'll have on a white T-shirt. After you finish, you'll see that your white T-shirt has been beautified by all of these beautiful colors. You know,
There's
so
starch in your face
please wear glasses or of
or
some type
shades.
or
Yes.
shades. If you don't want to get your hair color, it's because it's powder, so it can wash off. It rinses right off. And so if you don't want it in your hair, wear a hat, wear a cap, something to protect your
Bandana.
hair.
Put that bandana on. Pretend it's like Juve.
Yeah,
Did
it's
that
just like
bandana.
that. It's any festival that you ever been to where they're throwing color at
Yes.
you. It's not paint, so you don't have to really
Oh,
worry
so it's
about.
not paint. So it's not
It's
like
not
Juve.
paint.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
so it's
Just
not paint.
powder.
It's just powder. It's colored powder. And
Yes.
so it's going to be it's going to be so fun. I've already had people that has come to partner with me that will be doing pre-stretches before the run, if you would like to participate in
A
that.
warm up.
Yeah, a
Nice.
little warm up. We've had donations from Natalie Orange Juice that will be donating her orange juice towards the run, and we're also seeking for other donations, just like water and
You gotta get
beverages
with the
and.
I MC the triathlon.
Mhm.
Shout out to the Mighty Mujer Triathlon. I emceed that, and they had charcuterie boxes that were donated.
Oh,
You look bigger, sis, because you might have a charcuterie company that will donate. It was huge. I was like, dang,
okay.
they got boxes for every single runner after the race.
That's cool.
DJ was donated. She got a lot of stuff that I was like, golly, this is really
Yeah,
good.
I've
So
I've written to a lot of companies as well. I've never
good.
written to a company like that, but
Think about that. That's why I
yeah,
was throwing it out
I'm
there.
definitely going to go research it.
That's what's up. The chat is responsive. The folks are like, let's go.
Let's
I'm
go.
down, says Andrew. Cream Regina, nice to see you with the heart. Uh, I'm going, says Neville. Oh, sounds like a blast. Kimo was like, give me that calypso. I'm down for that. King Kunta says, my muscles full of pride watching YouTube. Oh, thank
Uh-huh.
you. Appreciate the love. Great idea, Mauricia says. Love it. Yes, think of the dry shampoo effect. Absolutely. Um, chemo, I'm still not going. She's talking about me still want to know why she don't give the man a second chance. She's like, okay,
It's gonna be a
can we
Patreon.
move forward? The conversation has shifted. If you guys are just joining, we've had an amazing conversation, transparent conversation with Dr. Tanisha Allen about her growth journey. You know, the trials and tribulations of life, understanding oneself, growing, stepping into a new beginning in terms of your own self identity, and realizing we're not who we want to be, right? The characteristics, the traits that we think we have, sometimes we don't. And we have to spend time, get help through therapy and other ways of cultivating them, becoming the person we want to become. And I'm grateful that she's here. Y'all get out her business. We might do it on Patreon. I'll ask her afterwards. But nonetheless, we're on the color run now, which is June 11th, Dyer Park, West
Yes.
Palm Beach. Come early, sign up. Again, Calypso music will be blasting. If you've never been to a color run, you get a white t-shirt. Cover your hair if you don't want the cornstarch colored powder, but it's cool. Wear glasses too. Wear shades. My
Some
cousin
shades.
has pictures. It reminds me of Juve. No paint though.
It's
And
not
they
cool
are
yet.
blasting you with color. You
I'm gonna
are
be
running.
doing it.
People are getting all kinds of powder all over them. And when you leave, may also tip, bring a towel for your
Yes,
car. So when you go back home, you have your towel on your seat.
that's right. Because you're gonna be
Words to
very
the wise.
colorful.
You're gonna have a little powder to get off of your chair, your car seat if you don't. So make sure you are prepared in that regard. So yay. So this is the first year you're doing it, or you've done it before?
This is my first year, so I'm excited.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you.
So you need support, you need volunteers. What else do you need? Obviously people to
I
sign up
need
to run, but what do you need?
support. I need volunteers because of the nature of the run. My volunteers will have to buy a general ticket, but I
Okay.
need people to help throw color. I need people to help pass out shirts and with registration and just help. I just need help. So if you don't really want to, um, do the 3 miles of walking, you could also help me underneath the tent and help my team under the tent. And if you have any children that needs community service hours, send them
Ah,
over to my way. I
yeah,
am giving community service hours. If you could prove that your child is a high school student and need community service hours, I am willing to let them come in for free,
wonderful.
because we are helping each other do what we need to do in the community because it's all for good cause, and we're doing it. And when you see the kids' faces, because I have permission to do a video when I go to Jamaica, and everybody that participates. So even if you're far away and you still want to donate, you could do so either by purchasing a ticket, or if you want to
Yes.
do a bigger lump sum, you could purchase many ticket, or you could also Zelle me, and all that information is on my platform, any platform you go to as well. And
Fantastic. Doreen says, let's go, Dr. T. I'm ready.
let's
RM,
go.
good suggestion. Yes, she said, tell Dr. T to try Hillshire, Genoa, I think it's how to say, salami, small plates,
Let
charcuterie
me
boxes.
write it down.
They are always partnering with Black businesses. Yeah, try it because
Okay.
I thought that was a fantastic. When we finished the race, I was yelling out my throat and calling out all these people in the triathlon. And they had boxes. They had obviously, they had like, those sometimes those power drink companies, tea companies with
Yeah.
the sodas and the cans and such. They love to give. So any type of power drink or those new sports teas or whatever energy drinks, those might be great. I gotta think if I have the sponsor brochure for that event still. If I do, I'll take a picture and send it to you. But I don't know if I have it still. But yeah, thank you, RM, for that suggestion. Appreciate it. Thank you, Andrew, on the super chat. We're about to go, y'all. If you have any final questions or any suggestions, we're here for it. Thank you. Andrew says, with the wonderfully generous $20 on the super chat, I love positivity, power, and purpose that you ladies are showing. Oh, thank you, Suzette. Let me
Aw.
find out you are down. I love this. He wants to go. He's like, let's go. Thanks, man. I'm going to definitely let my people know the music and running is a great mix. Yeah, I was thinking about it because I was like, I'm advertising for it. I should really think about going. So I'm checking my calendar. Let me make sure I can go before I say it. I didn't want to come up here and be like I'll be there because I don't know 100%, but I will
Right.
support.
Right.
Absolutely gonna buy a ticket because I love what you're doing. And if you guys are not local, why not? 100% of the proceeds here go to the orphanage, right? So again, the color run is when
June 11th.
June 11th. The City of Refuge is a Christ-centered children's home located just outside of Kingston, Jamaica. Again, in the St. Andrew Parish. You can go there. Thank you, RM.
Thank
Moderators are
you. That's their
fantastic.
website. And you'll
Boom.
see some of the
Do your
children
research.
there.
Boom. Do
Yeah.
your research. Because again, we try to promote people who really are doing things to have an impact and not just, definitely y'all can see this is not a self promo type woman. So you can follow her on all social media. It's all in the description as well.
Aw.
Support people that's doing positivity. Thank you, Andrew. Just like he said, it's like we want to make sure those who are trying actually, especially after all we've been through in the last 2 years, to move us forward, get us back out there, give back. Sometimes, again, also, we've talked about it here on the channel. Some of the best healing comes with helping to help. hello, my story. Give to others.
Yeah.
Again, you still need a therapy. You still
Yeah.
need Jesus, but you also sometimes sitting and wallowing in it doesn't do anything for you. When you get up and you start to push just out there and help others, I find that for me, it can be a wonderful tool for healing as well. I'm sure you can attest
Yes.
through your mentorship and other
Yes.
things you do. We get something and we give something, right?
That's
So,
right.
yay. Easy Gospel Piano Lesson says, I would love to do you a promo video. Oh,
Oh, that would be
look at
awesome. Reach out
uh,
to me.
very nice. You never know who like this platform connects. So yes, it's all about supporting. Yes, Sunbreeze, thank you. The community, when we have folks like Dr. Allen who are putting themselves out there, clearly you're not paying for this. You're just doing it out of the goodness of your heart. And always, I just love the idea that again, it doesn't take perfect people,
Yeah.
does not take perfect people to really have an impact on others. A lot of times we want to get ready. Look how much she's been through. A lot of times we got to feel like we got to be perfect. But oftentimes that's what God uses when we're in the healing process. And oftentimes, like I said, we don't even feel worthy of it. We don't even really feel worthy. But it's the same. It's just the intent.
Right.
It's no one is ever really worthy. But if we get that confidence by just again trying to work on ourselves as we help to build up others, yes, she gonna take pictures, of course. So you
Of
see our
course.
website here, guys. I'm gonna give her the final word. I've been definitely enjoyed this conversation. I'm gonna leave y'all hanging. Y'all gonna have to wait for a part two, or come over on Patreon, one or the other. But yeah, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Patreon is my special group of supporters who are members only, in terms of special content that I create for them, specialized conversations, like maybe a part two of this, conversations you're not going to just see on YouTube or Facebook, for those who are trying to help support my content. So I appreciate each and every one of my Patreon members, about 20 strong. Thank y'all. For more exclusive content, this is the Patreon. All right, Suzette Speaks. Or patreon.com// Suzette Speaks. That's what I've been talking about. So people might be like, what are you talking about? Again, there's the Cash App in case you want to support anything y'all give today on Cash App. I'm going to forward it to Dr. Allen. All
Oh,
right. So anything on the Cash App, I don't think I've had any, but if you do give on Cash App today, anytime today, please understand I'm going to forward it to her so you can do it that way, or you can donate directly to her, whichever. All right. Appreciate y'all. Hit the like button. Final words from Dr. Allen. What else or anything that you don't want us? Yeah. Miss Go, wow, the website makes me want to cut a check right. That's what I'm supposed to do. Thank you. People are doing good work. Everybody's not bad. Everybody's not trying to get over and get people. We got a lot of scammers here in Florida.
yes.
You will never like really trust everyone. We always like what they really up to. However, there are people that are genuine and actually doing things that are positive. Bop bop bop. Big up yourself, Doc.
Big up
Appreciate
yourself,
you,
Mr.
sis.
Links.
Let the healing wave continue to flow. That's what we're doing. So your final words or your final message for the folks today, Dr. Allen.
My final message and all that we have spoken about today is that no matter what you have been through, no matter the bad days or the good days you have seen, no matter who is around you that's supporting you, I want you to give yourself a chance to heal, recover, and go out there and make the best of your life. And because of this, and because I was able to do this, I was able to participate in making other children smile, as well as many people that are attached to anything that I do. And I'm just asking everyone and all of you to support the City of Refuge Orphanage in St. Andrews, Jamaica. And you could do that by partnering with me, however you want to do it. Even if you want to show up and come and give me a hug and say that you saw me on Suzette Speaks YouTube channel, if you want to come and say, hey, I saw you and I'm supporting you, I'm all for hugs and I'm all for making new friend and family. Or if you are far away and you would like to buy a ticket or buy a few tickets, or if you just want to donate to the cause, you could do so anyway. My information, RM has been spamming the chat with all my information, and God
Yes.
bless you. God bless you. And I appreciate every one of you for just sitting and listening to us as we have opened up here. And I want to honor Miss Suzette again.
Thank you, darling. You did the work. You are here. I want to honor you, sis. 'Cause like I said, many guests, even myself, I'm not comfortable always exposing or talking about things that have hurt me in my life and have left such mark. Initially anyway. But thank God that you have gone through that healing process as you just spoke of, and I hope it encourages others to do the same. That's really what the intention of today has been. Is to not only just for oh my gosh point fingers. No, honey, all of us got drama. All of us have, some kind of pain collectively, individually. So, whatever yours is, we are encouraging you guys to, you know, face it. As she says, try to heal from it, get help healing from it, whether it's watching us, whether it's getting therapy, a church family. But we'll find a way to help you, get to your destination, point you in the right direction at the very least. Chemo, thank you for our final super chat. Or he says, thank you for your story, Dr. T. I'll pleasantly wait for part two's return.
Part two.
Speak it into existence, my brother. But everybody has been so positive in the chat. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for watching. Again, RM, thank you. Sunbreeze, thank you. All my mods, thank you so much. They're waving. They're saying well done. They've enjoyed. So, guys, Doc, hang out in the back for a quick second.
Can I invite them to my church if that's okay?
Yeah, man, of course. Of course. Go ahead.
I want to invite you to my church. Please, if you want to see me sooner than the color run, you could visit my church, Victory Faith Chapel. Our address is 3812 Jog Road, Green Acres, Florida. That is 33467. We will also be having a women's conference coming up May 5th to the 8th, if it's correct. If you go to our website, Victory Faith Chapel or West Palm Beach branch, because we have many branches. West Palm Beach branch, you'll see the flyer up there. We have a women's conference, which I will be ministering on that Saturday. So if you want to see the ministry side of me, you could also come to my church, and I'll be ministering to the hearts of a women. Amen. We'll be talking about the spirit-filled women. So come on.
I hope if it's after my show, I'll be there, right? Oh, your battery. Jesus. Lord, plug in the computer, right? Just in time. Plug back in your laptop just in time. I think that's our sign for today. Doc, I'll hang out just for you. Please get your laptop plugged in. I hope you guys enjoyed Just in Time. What a fantastic show. Unexpected twist and turn. Like I said, I learned a lot about her, as you did. Didn't have any conversation with her prior to today. So I love it when it's like that, because I can come in and really, just ask the questions I would normally ask, do some heavy lifting, as TLA say, deep digging, getting the message across. Hopefully, I think that is, I would call it divinely ordered. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that gift. I'm grateful for all of you to be a part of it. Thank you for being a part of this community. What helps us, hit that like button so other people. Thank you on the super chat. I see another one. Thank you guys. After the show, going on and commenting below the video also helps the algorithm. We think about this, but more people can see it when you guys comment. So not just in the chat, but after the show, below the show. Great show. Love the show. Good time. Shout out to Dr. Allen. This was great. Love your story. Whatever you want to put. But comments below our videos on YouTube really help tremendously. So thank you for hitting the like. Just thanks for being here, being a part of our community. Hope you enjoy. Let me get that one finalized. I got Miss Globe, girl. Finish the show strong. I could go get more ginger tea with my grenade mug today. But yeah, throat kind of on its last. But thank you, Miss Globe girl, for being so active. Just thankful to have you in the Suzette Speaks fold in the community here. Always active in the chat, but today extra generous. Thank you. With the super sticker, no comment, just love. Appreciate you. Hope you appreciated the convo. Again, we're here to help us all, me included, to look at ourselves and get better. That's it. That's the only purpose here. So whether it's current event, whether it's social justice and law, you're going to see some more of that coming up from me, guys, as well. As we get closer to this 2022 election cycle, you're going to see more of that from me, because Doc, yeah, you're back. Doc, gonna say goodbye.
The camera died.
We were, well, listen, it was a good sign. We were wrapping up anyway. Thank God it didn't happen earlier. I had a guest just now. Shout out to Miss, actually, her last name I think is Allen as well, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, she was doing Hollywood Secret. She's a casting director and talking about her experience. And her internet would not let us be great. Like throughout the show, she's like, Sue, I've been doing interviews all day and I've
Wow.
had perfect internet. And it was like during our show, she went out, she had to go down, she had to come back up, but no problem. It happens. But we were at the very end anyway. So shout out again, Miss Globe Girl. Rah, 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 rah. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all my super chatters. I have a tie for sponsor from Andrew. Kimo, Miss Globe Girl, always showing so much love, and thank you today for the extra special gifts of your super chats and supporting my content. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Y'all know the Cash App. Appreciate you guys. Hey, I am feeling that spirit. Let's go. So, thank you. Let's heal. That's what it's about, y'all. Y'all see her name. Go support the Kaleidoscope color run any way you can. Appreciate you. Last but not least, again, hit the like button. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys real soon. You take care. Thanks for watching.